Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Scrap Empire. My name is Zach Hayes, and today we're going to be talking about a light heavyweight bout, which is going to be the main event for this upcoming UFC fight night. We're going to be featuring Anthony Smith going up against Ryann Spann. Now, for my UFC Fight Pass subscribers, for anyone that's following my channel that's subscribed to UFC Fight Pass, search up the first fight. Search up Anthony Smith versus Leonardo Augusto. All right, he has another last name, but I call him Leonardo Augusto. Okay. Now, Anthony Smith, right? I love his stance. He has when you look at the way Anthony Smith just throws his hands, right? It's very just very, very, very disciplined style. Like, he looks like a plank board. He looks like a plank board that's in front of an Irish bar. He looks like a plank when he's throwing his hands. And him just standing there about to transition to war, there's a reason why he had to fight the burglar who broke inside of his home. There's a reason for that. And that's because Anthony Smith is a tough guy. And also just look at his physique, look at his shoulders. Look at his traps. He just looks like a very, very strong guy. It looks like he takes a lot of care of himself. So during about Anthony Smith throwing a lot of jabs, throwing punches, landing his punches as well. All right. But what I notice about Anthony is he likes to be on the ground, nor does he mind being on the ground. Right? Doesn't mind being on the ground. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind moving around. Right? He can stand up, trade, multiple combinations with you. But I see the way how he strategizes when he's fighting his opponents. He literally can adjust to anything you throw at him. I mean, I wouldn't say he almost beat John Jones, but he definitely gave him a challenge. John Jones definitely not only respected Anthony Smith as his opponent, but he knew Anthony Smith was willing to test the waters with John. John Jones knew that Anthony Smith was willing to test the waters with him. So Anthony Smith, another great quality that Anthony Smith has, he's very flexible, right? So when he's on the ground, of course, there are times when Leonardo Augusto, was on top of Anthony Smith, or he was controlling. He was controlling Anthony Smith while he was on the ground. But again, due to his amazing physique and his knowledge, his fighting knowledge and his fighting expertise, he showed an enormous amount of heart with being able to control Leonardo Augusto on the ground, right? And because of that, because of his performance from this fight I'm talking about, that allowed him to be granted as the winner. Now let's get started with Ryann Spann. Ryann Spann doesn't really have the amazing physique that Anthony Smith has. I mean, he's strong, but he has a regular guy, just a regular physique. I don't think it makes him less strong. I don't think it makes him more strong. There's so many different types of you have different body types all across the world, right? Not saying that Ryann Spann, like, just because you don't look strong doesn't mean you aren't strong. You just don't have the physique that somebody like Anthony Smith has. But that doesn't mean you can't beat him in a fight. That doesn't mean you can't knock him out. I mean, at this point, physiques matter when it comes to attracting women, or if you want to become a model. But when it comes to fighting, I don't think anyone cares about that. Because the objective is to win, especially me. All of the big muscle guys, right? We're still trying to figure out how they getting dropped and knocked out in fights. Let me get back to my point. Now, Ryann Spann, and again, I'm very, very careful of the words that come out of my mouth. Right? Because I need you guys to really understand what I'm talking about. Watch Ryann Spann within the first 45 to 50 seconds of that fight. Observe the way how he throws that jab. Observe the way how he's throwing those straight punches. And again, it's not like he's a robot. It isn't like he's telegraphed, nor is he predictable while he's throwing these shots. Everything's just straight. Everything's just straight and just thrown to just get you out of there. He threw sharp jabs, and he's a sharp puncher. So, and even towards the end of the fight, when he's being interviewer asked him about his boxing abilities, because we all saw that it was extremely, extremely well. And Ryann Spann, in first round, between the late first round and early second round, he was on the ground. But again, he's a strong guy with a lot of experience in fighting. So, of course, him being on the ground isn't going to take away anything from his game. He just needed to stick to his coach's plan and just execute what his coach wanted. Execute the instructions his coach wanted Ryann Spann to follow. Excuse the noise in my background, everyone. That's my phone. I should put it on Do Not Disturb or on silent while I'm speaking to you guys. But Luis Henrique, all right, also had Ryann Spann on the ground during the second round. He was, not throwing Ryann Spann around, but he had a lot of ground control over him during the second round. There were some moments he was, landing strikes on top of Ryann Spann. Now thankfully the second round ended and he wasn't throwing those shots, constantly, because who knows, maybe the odds wouldn't have been in his favor anymore, because he won, within the first minute and a half of the second round and in the entire first round. Ryann Spann won that fight. Ryann Spann was winning that fight. But again, Luis Enrique is still an experienced grappler. And there were times when Ryann Spann was getting hit a lot, right? But then now we're going to the third round, which makes it interesting. Because yes, Luis Henrique has Ryann Spann on the ground, but Ryann Spann is still adjusting and he's not succumbing to the difficulty that he had to face for a little bit during the fight, or for a certain amount of time that he was subjected to the difficulty. Right? He just, moved around, and now he was able to get on top, right? Or at least control the ground, or have some ground control, all right? Which eventually led him towards getting the victory. Now, Ryann Spann, all right? My only concern with him is that, again, there were times during the second round when Luis Henrique just was pounding him out. And Anthony Smith, not only is he a strong guy, not saying that he's strong because of his physique, I'm just talking about. I'm just analyzing the way. I'm analyzing the way how he moves, and how he moves while he's in the octagon. Plus with his fluidity, right? I'm talking about that. That's why I'm saying he's strong. And also, Anthony Smith went up against a really, really strong guy by the name of Leonardo Augusto. So yes, Ryann Spann, he can punch, but Anthony Smith can punch just as good as you, and he's just as strong as the opponent that you have to face, Ryann Spann. So I'm not going to underestimate Ryann Spann. And I think he's a great guy. And I think he could, I'm not saying he can become a champion. I mean, that's up to him to determine that fate. But I see him having a great future in the UFC. But I just don't see him being able to win over Anthony Smith. Only because Anthony Smith, he's just more stronger. Not more stronger, but he has a style that isn't easy to figure out. And I just see Ryann Spann not being able to figure out Anthony Smith on fight night. But if he loses, they can fight again. Anthony Smith's just too experienced, and he has too much, just too much experience for Ryann Spann. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scrap Empire. Please like, comment, subscribe to my content. Thank you all for watching my YouTube channel. Please leave any constructive criticism or feedback that you think will allow me to help elevate my channel as well. Thank you all so much, and I'll be posting more content soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.